When the mare finally gave birth, the vet's hands trembled. Staring in disbelief, he muttered, "This is impossible." What emerged wasn't just shocking. It defied nature itself. The night was alive with the sound of pounding rain and distant thunder, casting an eerie glow over the isolated ranch. The air was thick with tension as the vet arrived, his boots splashing through puddles on the muddy ground. Inside the dimly lit barn, the mare lay restless, her flanks heaving with labored breaths. The ranch owner, a middle-aged man with worry etched on his face, paced nervously, his family huddled nearby, their eyes wide with concern. "She's been in labor for hours," the ranch owner muttered, his voice barely audible over the storm. The vet nodded, his practiced hands moving swiftly to prepare for the delivery. As the mare let out a strained whinny, the vet knelt beside her, guiding the process. But as the birth unfolded, his movements slowed. His face turned ashen, his hands trembling. What he saw next wasn't just unusual, it was unimaginable. The barn fell silent, the heavy patter of rain on the roof fading into the background. The ranch owner leaned forward, his breath caught in his throat as the vet hesitated, his trembling hands frozen mid-motion. The mare gave one final push, and the newborn slipped into the vet's grasp. But what he held wasn't a foal. The creature was unlike anything he had ever seen. It was small and slick, its skin pale and smooth rather than covered in the expected fine coat of fur. Its limbs were long and thin, almost spindly, ending in tiny, oddly shaped digits. But it was the eyes that sent a shiver down the vet's spine, large, luminous, and staring back at him with an unnerving intensity that seemed almost intelligent. What is that?" the ranch owner stammered, taking a cautious step closer. His voice cracked, his usual commanding tone replaced by sheer disbelief. The vet didn't answer immediately. He turned the creature slightly, his trained eyes scanning for some logical explanation. It emitted a faint, high-pitched sound, almost like a chirp, causing the mare to nuzzle it protectively. Despite its alien appearance, she seemed calm, even affectionate, as if this strange being was indeed her offspring. The vet carefully placed the creature on the straw-lined floor. It moved awkwardly, attempting to stand but collapsing back down with a soft thud. Its movements were jerky and uncoordinated, but there was an uncanny determination in its effort. This can't be real," the vet finally murmured, his voice barely audible. He wiped his damp brow, his hands shaking as he adjusted his glasses to get a clearer look. The ranch owner's teenage daughter crept closer, her curiosity overriding her fear. "Is it deformed?" she asked hesitantly. The vet shook his head, his voice growing firmer as his professional instincts took over. "Number, this isn't a deformity. This is something else entirely." The ranch owner exchanged a nervous glance with his wife. "What do we do now?" Before the vet could answer, the creature let out another chirp-like sound, its strange eyes locking onto his. It wasn't fear or confusion he saw in those eyes. It was something else entirely. Something that left him questioning everything he thought he knew about the natural world. The tension in the barn grew thick, the kind that made every sound, every creak of the wooden beams, every rustle of straw, amplified tenfold. The creature chirped again, its unsettling noise echoing in the otherwise silent space. The mare shifted uneasily, her protective instincts stronger than ever as she positioned herself between the strange newborn and the humans. "We need to call someone," the ranch owner finally said, his voice shaking. "This isn't natural." The vet raised a hand, his gaze never leaving the creature. "Number, not yet. We don't know what we're dealing with, and until we do, it's best to keep this quiet." "But what if it's dangerous?" the ranch owner countered, his fear evident. The vet crouched beside the creature, his heart pounding in his chest. He carefully extended a hand, trying to touch it, but the creature recoiled, emitting a low, almost mechanical whine. The sound sent chills down his spine. He withdrew his hand, his mind racing with possibilities. Was it some form of genetic anomaly, a mutation, or something far more extraordinary? Then a new sound broke the uneasy silence. A faint thudding, like footsteps, but heavier and slower. The ranch owner froze. "What was that?" The vet turned sharply toward the barn doors. "Something's out there," he whispered, his voice barely audible. The mare let out a deep, guttural sound, her eyes fixed on the door. The vet's heart sank. Whatever was outside, it was coming closer, and it might be looking for what had just been born. The barn doors creaked, swaying slightly as the storm outside intensified. The thudding sound grew louder, rhythmic and deliberate, each step reverberating through the wooden floor. The mare stood her ground, her massive body shielding the creature. The vet's pulse quickened. Whatever was out there was big, and it was getting closer. Suddenly, a sharp gust of wind blew the doors open. The barn was flooded with the dim light of the stormy night, casting long shadows across the walls. For a moment, no one moved. Then, out of the darkness, a hulking figure emerged. A stallion, wild-eyed and dripping with rain. Its nostrils flared as it caught the scent of the creature. The ranch owner stepped back instinctively. "That's not one of ours," he muttered, his voice barely audible. The stallion let out a powerful snort, its eyes fixed on the strange newborn. It took a step forward, its massive hooves striking the ground with purpose. The mare bristled, letting out a fierce whinny, her protective instincts flaring. The vet acted quickly. "Everyone stay back," he ordered, his voice cutting through the tension. He moved cautiously, positioning himself between the stallion and the mare. The creature, oblivious to the danger, chirped again, a soft, rhythmic sound. To everyone's astonishment, the stallion stopped. It tilted its head, listening intently, before letting out a low, guttural whinny of its own. The vet's mind raced. This wasn't aggression. It was recognition. The stallion seemed to sense something familiar in the creature, something that defied explanation. After a tense standoff, the stallion turned and disappeared into the night, leaving the barn eerily quiet. The vet exhaled deeply, his decision clear. "This stays here," he said firmly. "No authorities, no outsiders. Until we understand what this is, we keep it safe." As the storm raged on, the vet couldn't shake the feeling that whatever had just happened was only the beginning. What would you do if you were in the vet's shoes? Have you ever witnessed something that left you questioning reality? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more spine-chilling and mysterious stories. Stay curious, and we'll see you next time.